Good evening and welcome to the season premiere of Listen Honeychild on Hot Pink Pride Media, a community broadcast of Honeychild Ministries International. Yes, y'all, we moving on up. Okay, like George and Wheezy in this thing. This is the summer season is over. Okay, and there is a full moon growing in the sky, and autumn has fallen. This is your mother, and I ain't changed, but I have. Okay, but I have. But you know what? I'm still the same, and I don't flip, I don't fold, I don't flounder. Okay, and I bring it to you hot and pink and with pride, straight off the muscle, no chaser, no eraser. Okay, y'all, I done came up with some new stuff. So, with the dawning of a new season, y'all, October is, and yes, you'll see me, flipping my pages. Did y'all hear any of that? Because this thing over here doing its own stuff. Okay. I have to start over. Celebrating pride and acceptance and reconciliation and affirming our lives and our place in this world. So joining me for tonight for this kickoff party are my guests. My guest host, Coach Trent Lamar. And providing intuitive insight is my sister. Y'all know her as Cretia, but I call her Mary. And also tonight's spotlight person of interest is none other than author, educator, and influencer Saricha Fight. I hope I said that and didn't butcher your name. And we'll be discussing we'll be discussing her book, Amazing Grace. And last but in no way least, my beautiful friend, Jay Boo Tatum, coming to talk about the Heartbreaker, movement tour. All right. Now, tonight, affirming our lives, we are focused on the family, mainly the youth and young adults of the LGBT community or the LGBT set and the future of our local, national, and world community. Hey, we out here, right? So first, we're going to start out with Trent. Good evening, Trent. Thank you for coming. How are you tonight?
Good evening, grace and peace. I am well. I hope that you all are well. I'm ready to dig in. Let's go.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining in as my co-host. You have really been very instrumental in helping me with, getting this Pride picnic off the ground. Okay. And so I really do appreciate you. Hopefully we will be able to take a sneak peek at our live entertainment. Y'all, I have to have my glasses on tonight because, my eyes done shifted way to the left. But we have to, we're planning our LGBT youth and family picnic. And Trent has been very instrumental in helping me with getting that entertainment done with Eclectic Soul. And they are going to let us in on a little piece of their rehearsal tonight so we can get a little sneak peek, okay, of what they're going to be bringing. But Trent, I do want you, if you don't mind, to go ahead and introduce yourself. I want our viewers to know all about you, about your organization, why we call you Coach Trent, okay, and also about your fraternity organization. So can you go ahead and get that kicked off for us right now?
Absolutely. Excuse me. So many people know I'm Coach Trent, more affectionately known as Coach Rev Trent. I am ordained elder in the Lord's Church. Coach Trent is who I am because I just believe that what I've been called to do in community is to coach folks, to get them from where they are to where they want to be. I am the founder and executive director of Love Your New Creation, also known as Linked Together Connection Center. We are an organization that is geared towards amplifying the voices and lives of transgender individuals, folks that are on their gender affirming journey, whatever that may be. So we offer everything from clothing to food, to services, to marriage, to getting you your name, gender marker change, whatever you need to love your new creation. We do that here at Link Together. And that's just my life. That's what I do. I am a spiritual trauma coach. I believe that we have all experienced some form of trauma as it relates to spirituality and religion. And as someone who is identified as a trans male who has been in church all my life, I
Right.
know firsthand what that looks like. And so my job in this world on this side is to help folks get through that trauma and to find God their way and to help coach them through that process.
Wow, that is wonderful. And that's part of what this kickoff is about with the picnic, supporting Out Youth. Okay, Out Youth is an affirming organization that supports and provide resources for transgender and gender questioning young people and their families. I mean, that's one thing that Honeychild Ministries is here for, is to focus on the family, because I've seen, even in this day and time, as old as we are, I've seen and heard of where young people are still getting put out of their homes, still going through, having to go through conversion therapy and exorcisms and all of those archaic things that really traumatize a young person when they're already questioning, and already in that awkward stage of life, like adolescence and things like that. So it's really, really great for people like you and me who've been through this kind of thing to be out here, to help along in that process and provide support. So I just certainly thank you for that. And we're going to get into a lot more of that. I'm just like you, Trent. I was born and raised on the church bench. Okay. And the best thing that God ever delivered me from was religion.
That
Okay.
part, that part. And there is a big difference between religion and spirituality. Big difference.
Absolutely. There is a very big difference. Vincretia, you come over here close to me, honey. Okay. This is my Mary. Everybody needs a Mary in their life. Okay. This is Cretia McClure. Now you are the founder, and I give you all the credit, okay, because it was in your heart and in your mind to found the group Let's Be Peaceful. Okay. Now, this is a social group, and I would like for you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about the group. Okay. And one of your long term goals for creating this group.
Well, I guess pretty much for me, I see more or less in the community. What scared me was the fact that there was so much separation. Um, I see more or less not just within the change of male to female, the genders, it was just the separation of the people. I see more boxed in with race. I hate having to identify as I'm black. I'm the rainbow. Period. I don't. I see a rainbow. I see all colors. If there's all colors in the rainbow, why can I not just be a rainbow? So I challenged my group recently to stop seeing you as the rainbow, see the whole rainbow. I challenge them to actually add outside the rainbow. I've recently started to see them adding outside the rainbow, which is beautiful to me. But I noticed it's probably going to take more than that. And the whole purpose of the group is basically that peace, peace within the community, to bring light to a lot of the situations that are at hand just within the community. People are not coming together. It's so much separation. You have to be like this person or like that person. I'm not like anybody. I am myself. I'm my own woman. I don't have to identify to anybody. I don't have to be like you. I can be who I am and still be loved. You don't have to like me to be a part of your group. I can be by myself and stand just as tall. And everybody needs to know that. I mean, I feel like everybody needs to have that same voice. And whether people accept it or not, it doesn't matter to me. But I feel like as a group, if we unite in the same way, it brings more people in. And we went out on Saturday. I think it was Saturday, right? And I was disheartened by what I seen the younger generation. Over 20 years ago, 20 years ago, I came out at my first night at Sue Ellen's. It was beautiful. Like I'd never been to a gay club, and I was just in complete awe. Like, wow, really, So, to see what I seen Saturday, just hands on, just women just totally just hitting each other on top of the heads, like, and we had all of these older women in the club. Just nobody took action. Nobody. Like, where are we in these streets? Why are we not identifying with the younger generation that's coming up? Who's going to lead them? Why are we not out there pushing, showing them where this is supposed to go? At some point, somebody's got to help, because if we don't push, I identify push, pray until something happens. So we need to get out there like tomorrow. Saying we're going to do it and doing it is totally different. I'll go. I don't have a problem going. So if we don't stand up today, the streets are going to fall tomorrow. That's my stand on it. And I'll stand the same way till I go out. Somebody take me out first. So
Right.
I'm here till I die.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about it. Who was somebody saying something? I'm sorry, y'all. My glasses over here. So
I just listening.
go ahead, Sarita, please.
Oh no, honestly, I was just listening.
Okay. Well, since you was listening and you ready to talk, let's go ahead and introduce you, because we're going to go around the table. I just want to make sure everybody get
All right.
introduced and get their piece out so that we can go ahead and begin the dialogue and the conversation. So this is Sarita Fight, and she is an educator, an author, and an influencer. Welcome, and thank you so much for accepting my invitation to come on the show and tell your story. So can you please introduce yourself and then tell about this lovely book that you have written, and then we're going to get all the way into that.
Absolutely. As you stated, my name is Sarisha Fight. I have been in every facet of education, teacher assistant, administration. I have pretty much done a little bit of all of it. Right now, I'm working in a SPED program, and I think that's where I found my home. I am more than elated to be there. I started working on a poem during grieving my grandmother's passing, and it took me down for about, I want to say, 5 years. And it was through the poem that I actually wrote, the actual poem, that I was able to find a little bit of peace, And I started thinking, hey, if I went through that as an adult, what about children who are dealing with grief? And I come across different children every single day, from all facets of life. So with that being said, they process things totally different than we do. I remember, trying to process death as a child myself, and didn't take it so well. I wondered why everything was still flowing, yet it's still, my loved one is no longer here. So the book is just a way to start the conversation for kids to open up about grief and learn. Sometimes it's more difficult for us to take time out and just celebrate the people that we love and just appreciate the time that we had with them. I, as an adult, did not do that. I was very, very selfish, very, very selfish. But when I look back and I thought about all the things my grandmother was grace. It wasn't something that she had to tell you about herself. You could see it. You could see it, and you could hear it on her talk. She had this deep, raspy tone, and it was just all about love. She was witty. She was just my best friend.
How old were you when she passed?
I want to say I was in my late 30s.
Okay, so you had her for a lot of your life, a majority of your life.
I did.
So, yeah. Well, that definitely
That-
is a blessing to have had her that long,
oh
for
yeah,
your life. Grief comes in so many different forms. We can grieve with sorrow and we can grieve with joy. So it seems to me that your book is you grieving with joy, the joy that she, Amazing Grace, brought to your life, and and what she put into you that made you the person that you are today. So I definitely want you to talk about your grandmother's influence, because that's so important. Our elders, our legacy, the people that did their,
absolutely.
we are a representation of their hard work, and what they
Right.
poured into us. So we definitely want to get into that book. And last but not least is my friend Jay Boo. Hey Boo. Now I'm gonna tell you, if you gonna chase clout, then chase clout worth chasing.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm so glad that Jay Boo, she a big TV personality now, honey. She done been all over everybody's show, and I'm just so glad that you decided to grace me, with your presence tonight. And so grateful to you for allowing me to be part of your platform. Let me just show a couple of little pictures here before I this is my claim to fame right here. Hey, look at my boo. Okay. She looking like, Chad, come on to take this picture. And then here's me repping the brand, repping that
Okay,
hot
okay.
brand, that Afro puffs.
Yes.
Hello. So
Yes.
I was able to attend the movement commercial tour down in Houston. Of course, I was running and working, so all I was able to do was come in and get my picture took and run on back out. But I'm grateful to be a part of the process. This is part of your dream and building your brand, and you are coming also this weekend to Dallas with your Heartbreaker movement. Can you introduce yourself to our audience for people who don't know you, and tell us a little bit more about the movement tour?
Okay, yeah. So I am Jay Boo, the Heartbreaker. Yeah, you can call me Jay or the Heartbreaker, whatever y'all want to do. I'm from Houston, and pretty much I put this tour together because I feel like we all can relate to it. We've all been through some type of heartbreak. Whether it's a job loss or a relationship or anything. We all have had a little bit of struggles in our lives, and I feel like we had to go through that to overcome it. Like for me, I went through a few heartbreaks and it made me stronger. So I feel like a lot of people got the mental issues or anything like that. So I wanted to bring people into a safe space, a healing atmosphere where they can just come in, take a picture, brand themselves. It's like we're healing all in one space, and be able to get a
Yes.
picture taken and to post or put in their portfolio if they're looking into becoming a model or just anything, to have fun and bring some
Right.
out and have a happy place for us to just hang out. So open to
That's awesome.
hmm?
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were breaking up a little bit.
Okay, yeah. So it's open to anybody, even the youth. Now with the youth, they probably wouldn't really understand it, but they'll come and listen to the music, taking pictures, and having fun. But hey, some of the youth may understand. Like my son, he had a heartbreak this morning because I told him no, he can't have any roadblocks. So you just never know. So
Enjoy
yeah,
that child's life.
get everywhere. You know, get it out there because I feel like it's relatable to everybody.
It definitely is. And you mentioned healing and different types of heartbreak, grief, trauma, loss, things like that. So we're actually healing people who are healing people. Healing is an ongoing journey. And there's different types of. I'm going to come back over here to you, also, Trent, because I'm sure that in your line of work. Um, because you're dealing with something so personal as gender identity and transform. And the thing that comes to me comes to mind for me first is where the Bible says, "Be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." And so, even to handle even that big of an undertaking of, correctly assigning your gender, reassigning, however it may be, it first has to start with the transformation of the mind. Do you agree?
Absolutely. And that's the thing that I often share with individuals, that your mind is it's a battlefield in there. What you see, what you think. The word declares, "Whatsoever man thinketh, so is he," right? And so when I look in the mirror, the first thing I'm looking at is what I'm thinking and envisioning in my mind. And so if my mind doesn't line up to my reality, I can take all the medication, I can have all the procedures, I can go see all the doctors and clinicians, excuse me. None of that will matter if my mind is not transformed to who I believe I really am. And that's why I think, I didn't mention this earlier, but that's why I thank Theta Pi Psi Fraternity Incorporated, because you did ask me to mention my organization. They that's a safe place for me. I had been in Greek life before, and I left when I transitioned. And this organization, I was a part of the first line that ever introduced trans masculine individuals into their organization. And before even doing so, I met with the founder. We had conversations about what that would look like, the language, how do we do this? How do we create a space where trans men are not left out, because we do exist and we do matter. And so and all of that, I think it takes people to get their mind right, to even understand what transitioning is. It's not just for us, but even for our cis counterparts, our non-binary siblings. I think everybody has to get their mind transformed to understand what being trans is.
Wow, thank you for that. That's very important. Your organization. Let me just ask you, just to put you guys on spotlight for right now. Now, is the organization strictly trans for trans men?
No, actually, currently right now we have masculine of center women and trans men, but we are in the process of also creating our sister organization for our trans sisters and for our lesbian sisters, because we want to be an all-inclusive organization. We want to make sure that we do it right, and that we have a place where everyone can be safe, so we can be family and also be Greek and know that we have a place in the Greek life as well.
Okay, absolutely. I was gonna say which Greek were you a part of before, but I'm gonna just let that be bygones be bygones.
Yeah,
But
we'll talk about that offline. But yeah, absolutely.
Right. But so can you just kind of explain, just give me a couple of moments of what does it mean to be Greek?
So Greek, if anyone is familiar with like D9, you know about the Q dogs, the Kappas, things like that. Right. So for us, it's a brotherhood. To be in a fraternity, it's a brotherhood. It's another family, just like we have in community. We have a chosen family. And so when you find an organization that's Greek, you want to find an organization that lines up with your moral, your mission, their mission, their motto should line up with your life, just like our friends and our siblings. You don't want to, as my grandmother say, birds of a feather flock together, right? And so you want to make sure that the people that you are walking that Greek life with, they align with your life and your personality. And so with Theta, our mission, our motto, we changing the stereotypes of the LGBT community and replacing them with the infinite bond like no other. That's my life. That's what I do every day. And so to be Greek for me was to be in a place where I could have brothers and siblings that I could be myself, 100% myself. Didn't have to change who I was, didn't have to fake. I could still be the preacher. I could still be the coach. I could still just be trans, all of that. And that's what it means for us.
That is so important, to be able to maintain your authenticity as far as who you are inherently, who you are, because really and truly, just from my belief, your gender assignment doesn't change the person you are on the inside, because the Bible says exclusively that there in heaven, there is no male or female. We are all spiritual beings. We get this gender assignment when we take on this, this flesh of shell, and then we have to learn how to deal with life in that packaging.
Absolutely.
One thing about it is that if really and truly, if we don't like the packaging, then it is our right, our God-given right, to be able to change that. How do you deal with there's a lot of people out there that really come hard against trans individuals, saying that, you're still not this, you're still not that. How do because you're not going to be able to stop people from feeling that way. So it's really something that begins within. So can you just kind of give me a little bit of a rough breakdown of how you deal with a person who's dealing with that kind of thing, where, they're dealing with the ramifications of someone, telling them that, just because you do this doesn't make you what you say you are.
You know, I have dealt with folks telling me I was not who I was for a long time. And
Okay.
I think that the biggest piece of it is, like I say, and I think it bears repeating, it goes back to you believing in yourself. Here at Link, we teach people you have to love your new creation before anybody else will create any buy-in. My mentor told me when I first transitioned, and this was many, as they would say, many moons ago, but one of the first few conversations we had, and I can remember this probably back in 2008, maybe 2009, he said to me, Trent, when you do this, as you walk this journey, you got to be willing to lose everything to gain everything. And I didn't understand what that meant then, but sitting here in 2022, as a business owner, as a father, as someone who has no connection, authentic connection with my biological family, most of the people in my life are chosen, are
Right.
people that I allow in my energy, allow in my space. And so I think that when you deal with people who just, I don't argue with folks about what it is to be transgender. I'm an educator. I will educate you. I will
To
give you
them. Okay.
information. I will lead you to the water, but I will not force you to drink.
Right.
I don't argue about it. And I think in the community as trans folks, if we just understand who we are and just live out your truth, I just live my life. And so people naturally will gravitate towards that. They will respect that, because how you respect yourself, how you live your life will allow people to respect you and honor, as you said, your authenticity. My 3 pillars of Link, is acknowledgement, acceptance, and authenticity. That's what we live. AAA motto. That's how we live here. And I think if you accept who you are, if you acknowledge who you are, and you live in your authenticity, then other people will accept who you are. They will acknowledge who you are, and they will accept your authenticity. When you don't do those 3 things, then there is no way you can even have a conversation with someone who doesn't understand. Because as my pastor would say, you cannot defend what you cannot define.
Come through. Okay.
Hmm.
Sarisha, let's talk about Amazing Grace, and let's talk about your grandmother and what she poured into you, as far as developing you into the person that you are today, and how you came about putting her so iconically in this book.
As I stated earlier, that was my best friend. I could be coming home from the club and she'd find a way for me to contact her and let her know that I had made it home safe. Uh, Her favorite word, she got chilling all wrong, was a chilling on it, and she was just a good lady. How she just defined by love. One thing she always used to tell me is to remain humble. And I didn't quite understand exactly what that means until she was no longer here. She had so many little sayings that I just got you, okay, grandma, yeah, 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 okay, I hear you. But after her passing, it all made sense, and just by her just basically loving me. I was reading the book to some of my kids uh, last week, and one of them he started crying, and he only thing he could say was, "Miss Fight, I understand how you are able to love us because you were loved. You tell us every day that you love us." And he says, you were just loved. So you know what love is. And he was saying he didn't know what love is until now. So that meant a lot, and that's her influence carried on. So she was
That's
just
quite
a,
an observation for a young person.
oh yeah,
What
oh
age do
yeah.
you teach?
They are 6th through 7th grade. So basically, I'm sorry, 6th through 8th grade. So
Mhm.
basically he's about 13 years old. Y'all, I'm
Wow.
sorry, my dog just keeps jumping up here. I keep trying to hide her.
Well, let him come on camera. Let him come. We love the puppies, honey. What kind of puppy is that?
She
Say-
is a Shorkie, a Shih Tzu and Yorkie mix.
I
And
said,
she hasn't, trust me, she hadn't cared about me all day
okay.
until now. So,
That's
she
how
knows
you.
I'm doing something. Exactly.
That is how your kids do. And that's the thing about it. One thing that I think that I can definitely say I have in common with you is that my grandmother also was a special education teacher. And so, education was always very important in our house. But, a special education teacher does have a special touch with children because you're dealing with children with learning disabilities and things like that. But one thing that you really can't get wrong is love. You think that's
Absolutely.
the language.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's something that, that we, as much as we need it, and as much it is the number one thing. It's the one thing that we all take for granted. We take for granted the love of just simple things. I miss simple things, so
Simple things like what?
um my grandmother, I thought I was special. She literally called everybody in our family and extended family every single day. And the question was always, has anyone told you they loved you today? And she would say, let me be the first. If she didn't catch you in person, it was definitely on your answering machine. That's how long ago it was, by the end of the day when you got home.
So, in growing up, Sarisha, was your grandmother aware of your preferences as far as?
Not in growing, I didn't come out until I was I want to say 20. I know they knew, but I didn't directly come out until I was like 27 years old. And
Mhm.
my grandmother was the one person that told me that love between two women is a beautiful thing. Now, I don't know how she knew. I didn't ask. I
She
didn't go
knew,
into detail. She knew something, but she
right?
did. And acceptance. That was
And if,
the one person that it did matter whether what she thought about me, regardless I was gonna be me. But it did matter that somebody I didn't want to not have the same communication that I've always had with her. I didn't want to be, I didn't want to have it whereas I couldn't. I'd like to go and snuggle up next to her. I was grown, yeah, but
Mhm.
she was just that person, and she accepted me with open arms
And
as
did you?
me.
Yeah. So did you feel that even though it was unspoken, did you feel that there was a knowing from her?
Oh yeah, she would just she would say things about the friends I would bring around. She was like, "Oh, I see you with your little friend over there.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Got your little."
I
But
mean,
back in the day, they called girlfriend their best friend. So she was always, "Oh, you brought your girlfriend
right.
over," and I was like, "What?" But
That's
nah,
what they
she
call them, the special friend. Okay.
exactly, exactly. So
But you
yeah,
know
she
what?
knew.
When I don't know why it's been deleted, but there used to be a Urban Dictionary definition for honey child, which was the term of endearment that women called each other back in the day, back way back, more back in the day than I am. Like back in probably our grandmother's days, they called
Right.
their girlfriend honey child. Okay, and that's
Wow.
the things that solidified that name for me because it was so very endearing, but they've removed it from the Urban Dictionary now. But
Wow.
I can only imagine that just that affirmation and that knowing and that even if it's unspoken, the fact that she received your friends with love, as
Oh
opposed to
yeah.
that knowing where they, kind of turn their nose up at your friends and ask them what you doing with that old such and such thing,
Exactly. That word, yes.
right? That is what. So is that what prompted you to write, inspired you to write the poem and the book?
Oh yeah, it was definitely a process of healing, but it was just so much about her, how she would just take in generations of people, not just not just people that were closer, but their families, and then just took them into her heart, just embraced them, and it was through her being who she was that helped me, well, that led me to want to explore more about my spirituality, everything about her. I just admired her
Yes.
up close and from afar.
Right.
So
That's the thing about it. That's what teaching is for. When our elders, or even when as we're teaching, each other about spirituality and taking the chains off, taking those religious bonds and rules away from, that relationship with God, letting that your relationship
yeah,
with God is not predicated on a religion. It's just based on spirit and truth, and
exactly.
that's got to be conveyed, from us, those
Hmm.
who know the Lord, and have
That's right.
experienced Him, to out to the younger people, because nowadays they really don't have a clue. They're so three-dimensional that it's ridiculous, and I think that's probably part of the issue. I think something's been going on. We don't even get into that. Let's get to my boo, J Boo. J Boo. Now, I do love your movement. I do support everything, and as I have, gotten to know you over a few months and followed you, you have a very universal message. The clothes are off the chain. Y'all got to go to J-Boo's website and take a look at these clothes. I got a dress, a t-shirt dress, and it was just a 1X, honey. So one size really do fit most. Okay.
Yeah.
You want to promote maybe like a medium or a large.
Well, why didn't you want?
She only had one at that time, but you got some more, right, J Boo?
I think I got some more. What you need?
Okay.
She didn't tell me about it, so
It was in Houston. So so tell her about the one coming this Sunday, J Boo.
Okay, so it'll be in Dallas, October 9th from 1 to 5 at Dallas Business Lounge. The suite number is 5, but if you Google Dallas Business Lounge, there's only one, so you can't miss it. There's the address, 13740 Midway. I believe that's in Addison, right? Is that
It
like,
is.
yeah.
Mhm.
So it'll be a good location. This is where a lot of my model friends go do their modeling. So
Okay.
y'all want
I'm
to
gonna have to come through and check you out. Give me a
come
little
through?
heartbreak joint on my face.
Absolutely.
Come slide
Yes.
through on you.
I will have shirts. I will have merch. I will have everything y'all need. It'll
Yeah.
be there, and you don't necessarily have to stay the entire 1 to 5. It's kind of just get your picture taken. You can kind of dip out or mingle. But there will be live video, so we will be going live. You just might be in the next commercial, so y'all check it out.
Okay.
I can finally say I know another celebrity. Let's go.
Now, okay.
Yeah, you
Okay.
famous in these streets. I've been hearing about you.
Oh yeah, have you? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
you
Well, that's
famous
good.
out here. Looking forward to meeting you.
All right, me too. That's good. I'm
Well,
just
y'all, I was
something right.
wanting to hook up with the group that is going to come out. They are Eclectic Soul. Okay. Now, let me see if I can find her and see if they are ready because we are almost out of time. So let's see. Where was her number? There we go. She has an 817 number. So if y'all my 817 people, Eclectic Soul is a band. Now they do several different genres of music, mainly R&B and gospel. And so y'all know that those are two of my favorites. Hello. Hey, are y'all ready? Okay, so let me send you this link. Just give me 1 second, y'all. I'm gonna go on mute for just a second. Let me see if I can play y'all a little commercial real quick. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yes. I want you all to see this commercial from my friend Aaron. He's also written a book, Bought with a Price. Okay. He's also into LGBT ministry. And this book is, his book is really, really great about his journey through the pornography industry.
Pornography is a $12 billion American industry.
There's increasingly concrete science that the addiction can be as powerful as drugs and alcohol.
The dirty little secrets, maybe even in your church.
Porn is normalized everywhere. That's why I had to tell my story. I used to be in porn, but now I realized that I was traumatized from my experience on porn sets. I thought I was making easy money, but now I know that I am worth dying for. Check out Bought with a Price, a gay Christian's memoir from porn sets to love, available through most online bookstores.
All right, y'all. So we're waiting for them to join us. We're going to get a little sneak peek, but we're going to go ahead and wrap up a little bit of this conversation. Now, Eclectic Soul, again, they are an R&B. They do old school. They do gospel. So they're really going to have a great mix and variety. And we have had a few. Oh, y'all, we have 11 comments. Didn't nobody tell me nothing. Okay. Yes, that's right. You have to be yourself before you can love anyone. And I really do want to thank you guys for coming out here, because for the most part, tonight's show is concluded. So I hope that you've been blessed and you've been informed and empowered. And Krisha, can you just tell me a little bit more about like what you plan, what your goal is as far as ministry, because I know you said earlier that you have not only this group, but you want to start a sister group. What is that sister group going to entail?
Well, basically, eventually, it's going to take me a second. I don't want to go too high and peaceful because I can't reach. The whole part is the outreach. So I have to be able to touch.
Mm-hmm.
If I get too high, I can't touch. So the numbers don't mean anything if I can't touch you. So
Right.
I want to be able to start a sister group, include the younger generation. So we're going to be able to start mentoring within the younger group so we can actually touch in that community. I want to not base in Dallas because I'm in Dallas. I want to go
Worldwide.
Yes, I want to
Okay.
touch everybody. I don't know. I just want to be in the rainbow. I literally, I've been through the abuse. I've seen the storms. I've been all over, and I know God placed me in those places because I was supposed to be there. It started way, way before now. So my purpose is driven, and there's no way you're gonna stop me. So the groups will be done, and I'll keep going.
Well, I was there definitely with you the other night when we saw the debacle at the club. But that's one thing, Trent, Sarisha, and J Boo. I think that's one thing that all of us definitely have in common, because we are, very much concerned about, the younger generation, about our future. And here we are. Hi, Bridget. How are you?
Hey, I'm fine. How's everybody doing tonight?
No.
You guys, this is Bridget of Eclectic Soul, and they're just going to give us a few seconds, a little drippy drop. They gonna give us too much, but just give us a little bit of a taste of Eclectic Soul. You guys go ahead, take it away.
Come on, y'all.
Line for line.
That's right.
Just a little bit. Looking forward to hanging out with y'all.
Yes. Oh my God, that is definitely picnic music. Okay,
yes, we're having fun. We can't wait to have fun with y'all Saturday.
I can't wait either. Thank you so much. And thank you guys for doing this at a very deep discounted rate. So we are definitely going to have a tip jar out there. So everybody come through and bless this group for blessing us with their presence and with their talent and with their gifts. I can't wait. I really do appreciate it. And I really appreciate each and every one of you and the contribution that you're making to the LGBTQ Youth and Family Picnic. I believe, in the vision. I believe in the dream. I believe that it is going to be exactly what God wants us to be, a chance for our rainbow family and more, the people that support us and love us, to come out and support, to celebrate LGBTQ History Month, because we have come a long way, okay? And we have a long way to go, and we can, the only way we're going to get there is together. All right. And so if you want to be part of the dance battle, we are going to have a dance battle. If you know anything about stand battles, the stand battles of old school, that's really what I'm looking for. That's my heart desire, to see a stand battle. Okay. To see somebody really get out there, J-setting and flipping and turning and, okay. Y'all know how it goes. But I thank you, each and every one. That concludes tonight's show. Again, I hope that you have been blessed, informed, and empowered. I would like for you all to join me each Tuesday night. It will be Tuesday night going forward for new and old topics. If you would like to be a guest host or a person of interest, please email honeychild.ministries@gmail.com. Or, of course, you can inbox me. You can follow us on social media at listen.honeychild on TikTok. That's my largest platform. Listen Honeychild on Hot Pink Pride Media on YouTube, as well as on Facebook, and listen.honeychild on Instagram. And of course, join our Facebook group, join our group, Let's Be Peaceful, Let's Be Friends, who is also one of our collaborators, Classy Ladies Social Club. We just really do appreciate you, Emerald Dreams, J Boo, for being a sponsor as well. And so, we're going to go out and we're going to have a whole lot of fun on Saturday. So for support and donations, Cash App, #, Honeychild Ministries. And that's it. That's all that I have for you. So good night, and God be with you until we meet again.